vlog 3. It's kind of like a desk setup, right? I think it works for not actually being in the office, so let's get into it. Okay. Ooh, that lighting is terrible here. Let's see. A little better, right? Yeah, kinda. So, okay, so like I said, vlog 3. Gonna go through this one quick because I have something really exciting to show you guys. So let's just get into it. 100 vlogs, vlog 3. The most important thing I've ever done is the title of this one. And to be honest, it was kind of hard to come up with that, you know? I've done things in my life, I've done a lot, but what can I be most proud of? What can I consider to be the most important? So, ultimately, I just went with this right here, starting this channel and doing these vlogs and making videos and things like that. So, that's what I'm going with as the most important thing I've ever done. I think this channel has enabled me to do a few different things. It's enabled me to have a creative outlet where I can show off my creativity and create things that I wouldn't have any other space to do that. It's also enabled me to, you know, connect with people that I might not have connected with before. Other photographers, videographers, people like that. Like just on my way to the airport today, my Uber driver, he's a photographer, and he saw me with my camera and we were talking about photography, and he's telling me how he's doing these classes about photography, and I gave him some recommendations of other YouTubers to follow and look at tips and tricks because he's shooting with Sony. As you guys know, I shoot with a Canon. But yeah, I was able to connect with this guy that I wouldn't have connected with before. He was just a driver to me, but now he's a friend I've made in photography, kind of. So pretty cool. I've also been able to reconnect with old friends. As you know, I'm here in Vegas, but I'm only here for one night. Great high school friend of mine, Alex, he's coming to pick me up tomorrow because he's flying into Vegas tomorrow, and then we're headed to, like you heard in the last one, the Grand Canyon. I'll get a little bit more into that later, but we're gonna be filming some stuff in the Grand Canyon. Got some cool videos in the works. You guys will be seeing those soon. But yeah, I've been able to get back in touch with a really good friend of mine from high school, and he's more into photography of animals, and his big thing is animal conservation, which is so important, and protecting different species and informing the public of problems that are going on that we might not necessarily know about. It's super cool that he's doing that, and he's got a great space for that on a website called Mammals with a Z. And so that's pretty much why we're here in the Grand Canyon. You'll see some of that soon. Going back to the number 3 here. I think the last thing it's enabled me to do is explore a new path. You know, I got into photography during the pandemic. Kind of hard to start a travel photography, videography channel on YouTube during the middle of a pandemic when you're not supposed to really go anywhere, but I went for it, and this is where I'm at now with the channel. And speaking of new things, I got something new here. Unraveling and unwrapping. I got a new camera lens. Look at this little guy. How cool is that? He's so tiny. Fits right in my camera bag, right where I need him to. Don't even think about it, and it's so small. This right here is the newer RF mount Canon 16mm prime lens. It's pretty cool. It's really tiny, and it's the same body shape as the 50mm RF lens. It looks almost identical, and right next to each other. I don't have the 50mm, but the pictures I've seen online, they look almost identical except for the actual, you know, lens measurement itself. But check out how tiny this little lens cap is. Look at how small that is. It's like a little monocle kind of.
Yes, fancy indeed.
But it's like a 50-cent piece. It's that big. It's so tiny. Now that we're done talking about what this vlog is about, we'll go down to Fremont Street and check out what this guy can do in low light, because I've heard some iffy things about what it can do in low light. So we're gonna test it out. So let's see what happens. And I think too, can we just talk about my freaking view I have right here? Look at that. The pyramid is right outside my friggin' window. How awesome is that? What a friggin' view for just one night here. All right, now time to change this lens here. So here we go, 1 second. All right, there we go. Fixed it, whoa! Look at how much extra wide it is. That's so awesome. This is the original lens that came with the camera that I have had on it since I've had it. As you can see there, 24 to 105. And this is 8 whole millimeters less. So like super wide. And yeah, I'm super excited to test this out. So let's just go. Also makes it like, I'm barely holding this away from me. This is so awesome. My arm is like still touching my chest and you can see all of me plus stuff in the background. This is great. This is where I normally hold out the camera and look at how much extra you can see. That's so freaking cool. Ah, wide lenses, baby. Let's get right into it. Let's go check this baby out. It's so small. I can't believe it. All right, let's go. Check, make sure I have the key. Got the key, cool. Let's go. So one thing I think I should also tell you guys about is the story of how this lens came to be. Not an expensive lens, it's about, I think, $300-ish. So here's the story. I went into Best Buy to buy the lens and they didn't have it in stock, so I had it ordered. I was like, are you sure it's gonna get to me in time because I need to have it for this trip that I'm going on? And they're like, yeah, it'll get there, you know, the week before, the end of the week before. So Friday, today's Wednesday. I'm checking the tracking on it and everything, and then I look and it says it was delivered, but in the wrong area code. So I was like, hold on, I don't live there. And I check and it says put in a parcel locker. Like they have the bottom of the mailboxes and then they give you the key. So I call Best Buy and I say, hey, it says my lens was delivered, but it didn't get delivered to me. It got delivered to some random address that I don't know. And I can't see, but it's definitely not in the same area code that I live in. And so they're like, oh, that's weird. Okay, we'll send a replacement. They did it with USPS before. This time they did it with UPS. And they told me, I was like, now are you sure it's gonna get here? Because I have to have it Tuesday so that I can pack it. And they're like, yeah, it'll get there for sure. I check and it hasn't left the Best Buy facility. It didn't leave the Best Buy facility until 8:34 p.m. Monday night. So I'm like, yeah, I am not getting that Tuesday. So Tuesday, I check, it arrives at Houston and then it just stays in vague Houston. It doesn't exactly say where in Houston, it just says basically Houston. And so I'm like, okay, great. I'm not gonna get this lens in time to go on my trip. So that's gonna suck. I check this morning, Wednesday morning, and I see that it's supposed to be delivered between 10:15 and 2:15 is the window. And I'm like, hold on, the glimmer of hope. If I get it by 10:15, then I'll get my lens before I need to leave. Because my flight's at 2:15 and it's gonna take me about 45 to an hour to get there. So then I call UPS and say, is there any way you can get me in contact with the person who's delivering the package? I need to make sure that I get it on time. And they're like, okay, we can give your number to the customer support center and they will contact you regarding the package. And I'm like, okay, great. They're not gonna call me back until like I'm in Vegas already. 30 minutes later, I get a call. And I'm like, oh, this is UPS. They've called me back. I say, is there anything you can do for me? Please help me out. And they're like, so I looked in, the drivers were out. It looks like they're not gonna get to you till 2 o'clock. Oh, great. And then I'm definitely not gonna get it on time. I'm gonna be like boarding the plane at 2 o'clock. So then I'm like, is there anything you can do for me to help me out? I will go and meet this UPS driver at a random place if I can get this lens on time. And they're like, give me a minute. Let me call the driver and see if that's a possibility. And she calls me back. There's a beauty supply store right around the corner from where you are. She's gonna be there in 15 to 20 minutes if you can meet her there. And I said, I am leaving now. So I go, and then the UPS truck pulls up. This lady shows up, and the stars aligned. She had my package, and it was great. And I was able to connect with her about photography because she's going on a trip soon. I told her I'm working on some tips and tricks about phone photography. And I showed her a trick that she could use on her trip, so that was pretty cool. So right now I'm in the New York hotel. We're gonna be making our way to the fountains out in front of the Bellagio, so hoping to take some really cool pictures there. So it's a bit of a walk, about a mile, so we'll see what's along the way as well. It'll be pretty cool. Also have no idea if I'm going the right way or not, but you know, we'll figure it out. Ooh, exit, there we go. Now we're going the right direction. So I must have taken a wrong turn in the Brian Can't Afford It area. Right there, that, can't see it, but you know, that's Balenciaga, Dior, Fendi over there. Oh, Louis Vuitton, right there, how'd I miss that? Creed right around the corner. And then, yeah, right over here you got Prada, and, oh, hey Spider-Man.
Hey everyone.
Look at it, budget Mickey and Minnie. I didn't know Mickey wore running shoes. And we made it to the fountain. Ooh, and we made it just in time. How friggin' awesome is that? Okay, light show was cool. Won't know really how the pictures turned out until after I get them on my computer, but I think they turned out actually pretty well. I don't know what I was worried about with the low light situation, but now I'm gonna go to the lobby of this hotel and then try and find where I can get in an Uber, because apparently you can only do it in specific locations. And then I'm gonna go over to Fremont Street and show you guys my absolute favorite pizza place down there. Some serious poker going on in there. Looks like it's all the high rollers. Looks like over here we have the craps tables. Still don't understand that game whatsoever. Well, that's a good sign. And here we are. This is where we're gonna get picked up to go to Fremont Street. Sweet. An Evel Knievel themed pizza place. And it's called Evil Pie. Ooh, there it is. Thank you. So, not only am I loving how close I can be to the camera, and you can still see all of this around me, my hands are like almost all the way spread out. Look at that. You can see all of it. Oh, that's crazy. Anyway, I think this lens performed just great in the low light. There's some fuzziness, but you know, to be expected with like a $300 lens. But for the most part, I think it performed just to where I needed it to perform for the price point that it came at. One thing I did notice though that kind of bothered me a little bit was the focusing on it takes a long time compared to the 24 to 105 here. It does it very well and it focuses on what you need to focus very well. It just takes much longer to get there. Not to mention that the actual movement is pretty loud compared to the 24 to 105 as well. One thing I am looking forward to though is, the camera that I have, the Canon EOS R, it's capable of doing 4K. It just crops the image that comes out. But with this wide lens, that shouldn't really be a problem. So hopefully soon I can start filming in 4K to get a better image quality for my videos. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. So a couple of specs for the lens. It can go to a 2.8 aperture, which is pretty crazy for a lens this small and this cheap. So the weight of this lens by itself, it's pretty lightweight. It's around 36.5 ounces or 1,035 grams. And that's totally, you can totally tell while holding it, it's so much lighter than this lens here, the 24-105. I mean, you can kind of just tell with how large it is, but just the insides of it, yeah, they're cheaper and more plasticky, but for lightweight run and gun vlog shooting type of thing, it's perfect because you don't have to, you know, strain your arm holding it out. You can even hold it. I was holding it mostly like right here the whole time while I was out, and was still able to capture me and a lot of the background around me as well, so that was awesome. I'm not gonna get into a ton of specs for you guys, but last but not least, minimum focus distance is right around 5 inches, which is super cool because that means you can get really close to things and get a lot of sharp tack detail out of it still and have a pretty good image. I will also mention that there is a control ring on the lens, so that's helpful for using it to do manual focusing, or if you wanted to program it to do other things like adjusting aperture, shutter speed, that kind of thing as well. So guys, that's it for me for this video. This vlog 3 done. Awesome. I'll see you guys in the next one. Be on the lookout for that. It should be coming soon. And in the meantime, I am gonna dig into the rest of this pizza. I will see you guys in the next one. Good stuff.